letting the energy grow. They say gratitude, letting the energy glow. Shout out to Carol, glowing gratitude, infinite evolution. Much love.
Oh man.
Much love, much
Anybody
love.
feels like they're out there in the ethers a little bit all the time? Try listening to some shakuhachi flutes.
Hey, the flute will get the root. You change the root, you change the fruit. Oh man. Man. Much love. Elijah says Satnam. Shout out to Elijah. We were just talking about Elijah today.
Just talking about you. Our friend Peter here says he's taking classes with you. You guys have been in touch.
So shout out to Peter, that connection.
And Seth too.
Soul family, so good out here. Much love to the brother Tracy, Kazuo Guru. Elijah said, come on. I can hear it in his voice.
I know, I said, yeah, we know Elijah, he fires me up. We fire each other up.
Say, come on now. You know we know Elijah.
Yes.
Come on now. Brother Eli, the book of Eli.
Hey, small family becoming larger.
Hey, you know.
Small family, big family. We just all finding each other.
Yup. What they say, breathe in tall and let it fall. Small becomes tall. We got the tall energy. So, much love to you today. I ain't even titled it because I wanted to just be in the moment. I just wanted to throw it on. Like we said, press the button. You know what I'm saying? Just punt fear and press record. Much love to Francesca. Hey there, from CC, Italy. Francesca, much love to you. Thank you for all the love that you poured on us last night. That was an awesome session we had. And just to do a little recap on what we had today, because today was day dos.
Today was
Day dos of Le Pranic Retreat here in Sedona, Arizona. Don't you wanna? Blessings, blessings. Oh, he requested? Shoot. Come on in. Hey, shoot, why not? You know you're gonna be. He said, yo, let me get up. Let me soak this up real quick. My man, Eli. Elijah, what's going on, family?
Family. Yo, how are you guys?
amazing.
Electric.
Yeah, y'all shiny. Yo, as soon as you hit live, like she's in her meditative state, I'm like, oh, buddy, we about to go somewhere right now.
I didn't know he was recording.
You gotta love Jerome. He's always bringing the best surprises, you know?
Full of surprises.
He got that. Would you say that's the love language, Jerome, of yours?
Say again?
Is that a love language of yours, surprises?
Surprises. Well, yeah, I do love surprises. Yeah, I do.
Oh, surprise. Everything's a surprise. Where are we going? I don't know yet.
We'll find out.
What are we watching? We find out.
Find out. We'll see. What's going on with you, Elijah? What's happening with you in your neck of the woods, brother? What's going on in your world?
Yeah, we just finished a 3-day dry fast, and it was the most magical thing ever. And you'll never guess who helped me break it, but our fellow friend Tuche helped me break it.
Tuche.
Yeah, Tuche in the building, plasma. But yeah, I did my first iridology reading, and she told me that number one, I have true brown eyes. So like my eyes were like truly dark and brown, and like my pancreas looked good, like my heart looked good, my lungs looked decent, but there was something in my eyes that showed my adrenals. And so like I'm going on a 90-day detox starting today, and we're flowing with it.
Man, Awesome, brother. Much love and support your way. You got this.
Um,
You got this,
yeah,
man. You were born ready.
that's right. We ready. How's Arizona? How are you guys there? Like, how's the retreat going?
Can you tell?
We see it.
Do you smell what the rock is cooking, yo?
Oh
It's
man.
been, yeah, we've been up in here. You know, we've been out here in the mountains, what they call these vortexes. You know, it's been energy and just a lot of conscious community, a lot of builders, you know, and a lot of people who are just really interested in just a new form of living, a new lifestyle, and a new form of giving, you know, and receiving energy. Today we really talked about that reciprocal energy to give and receive. So that was a really good message. We had a lot of good messages today. So it's been wonderful. What about?
Yeah. I mean, no words.
Mm-hmm.
No words even. Like the feeling. Like I love Arizona. It's my second time here and I couldn't wait to come back. And I don't think I want to, I think I might come back and stay for a while maybe.
Probably indefinitely. she like, I don't want to leave. Yeah, she like, I want to stay here.
She at home.
It's just surrounded by this red rock and it's all like crystal. It's like surrounded, like instead of mining little crystals in the earth, it's like we're surrounded by just giant like crystals. Like as soon as you enter the state, I feel it as soon as I enter the state. But when you get to Arizona, it's just stronger. It's stronger in Arizona. I mean Sedona. Sorry, Sedona.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
You've been to Sedona?
I've been to Phoenix, not Sedona though.
You would love it, bro. You would love it.
Is this your first time there, Jerome?
This is my third time. Yeah.
Third time.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it?
First time we came.
Do these retreats happen like frequently here? Or like the better question is how does a brother get on the list? Is what I'm trying to figure out.
Divine timing, you know, like there was one in January, but he came, but I didn't know about it. And so I saw it and I was like, oh. So then when I saw that they were having it again, I gotta be there.
Yeah, she jumped on it.
Gotta be there.
Jumped on it, yeah.
I think
I'll
like
be jumping on the next one. Keep me posted.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, since you connected to us, you know, as soon as whenever the next one happens, you can jump on it like a trampoline. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's
we're
still
gonna be
Sunday.
on it.
Could fly out here.
Oh, she talking about it. You see how
she's
she
like,
talking?
come on.
Come now. It's still Sunday.
She's like, well, what you waiting on, Elijah? What you waiting on?
She said, you know?
Oh man.
Oh man.
You know, Ellie he's in the now, so I don't think they really plan it too far ahead, right? It's always
they're very
kind of
moment by moment.
Moment by moment thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, you guys are angels. I love you guys, and I appreciate you so much. So, thank you for sharing these vibes. I gotta go in here into the crib and get everything ready because we got like 15 people coming to the sauna tomorrow. We're gonna do some breath work in the sauna, and man, you guys' energy is beautiful. Thank you.
Amen. Blessings to you, bro. Satnam, and just congratulations to your growth and development. And I salute you in your journey. Have a great detox and just enjoy it.
As we say the end, Wahe Guru.
Wahe Guru.
Yes, sir.
Peace and love.
All right. Awesome. Wow. Awesome. Elijah, come on and kick it off real quick. He said, I'm going to come on and kick it off real quick. He said, this is too good. Let me jump up in here. This is too good. He said, y'all beat me. So, all right, what we got today? What you got for us?
Today I feel like we're just connecting with so many friends and family. It's just so nice. People from all over, different ages, different backgrounds, all coming together with this same like-minded truth, meeting in the middle, just bringing that to life even more.
And I really enjoyed the dynamic today where they really get into a flow. Shayna Dean and Ellie Tom, whenever they're bouncing things back off of each other, kind of like ping pong, they're flowing ideas. And then whenever she chimes in, and she'll take it from the cosmic perspective, and then he'll say, okay, let me bring it down to earth.
Yeah.
Right? Let me bring it down to earth.
Reel it
Yeah,
down.
yeah, let's bring it down. But then she'll add something in or sprinkle something in that, you know, that resonates with folks who understand that, you know, kind of like light language.
Mm-hmm.
You hear it, you pick it up for the folks who have ears to hear. Mm-hmm. So what did you enjoy about, you know, the message between both of them and just the way that they handle these sessions, you know? Yeah.
Just their dynamic, like you said, like Ellie Tom's the one kind of leading, but Shayna will chime in every now and then. And I really feel that's important because Ellie Tom like brings it down to earth, like we said. Shayna is more cosmic, like myself. That's why drum helps me like kind of anchor down and be grounded, and then it's like, yeah, just a good team. They're a really good team.
For sure. And there was a lot of input today. Like so many people, they added things. They, you know, they had questions, suggestions. They had topic. They added to the flow, and it was really cool to see how everybody had this whole collaboration. It was a big community feeling. So there were different themes on reciprocity. There were themes on receiving, right? On learning how to receive. Not just being able to give, but being able to receive. That's an important one.
So I pointed out that yesterday we received so much. We wanted to come on and give that, and then we just got received back all this love and appreciation and gratitude. So it's like boom, 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 boom. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and even just the spot that we were at, it was a beautiful view. We had a beautiful view. I mean, the sun was just loving on us all day long. It was kissing us. the bugs, the whatever, they were kissing us. What did he say? He said, "Who kissed me?"
He said, "Who's kissing me?"
And then whenever we would pause and we would have a little intermission, we would go charge up. You know, different people would go their separate ways. I was playing the flute. You know, I was staying towards the breath because I was pretty much dry during the whole, I guess, 5 hours that we were out there. But I was just really absorbing the message. While Ellie Tom would go over there next to the tree, soaking up the tree chi.
Yeah.
And then, you know, everybody's mingling with each other.
All the mudras we learned today to
Talk about
harness
the mudras,
that
yeah.
energy. The pranic, right? The pranic.
Yeah,
mudra?
prana mudra for energy. Yeah, prana mudra. Then he did the ones where he folded over and put it
to the Dantien.
Dantien, the sea of chi.
With the hands touching, like that.
That's the Brahma mudra. And then there's the chin mudra with this one, putting it down the chin mudra. And then the chin maya mudra, where you put it down on that one. Yeah. And so different mudras or hand gestures or energy connections go to different organs, different points in the body. So some of them link up to the heart, some of them link up to the respiratory system, some of them help out with your circulatory system, some of them deal with the shoulders and the head, some of them deal with, you know, the liver, the kidneys, like different parts of your body. These are energy connections.
It's a way to direct that energy to that area.
Yeah, yeah. So I remember one time I was walking, I was in California, I was in Sherman Oaks, and I was walking in a nature trail, and I seen this lady walking, and she was just minding her business. But I seen her arms were swinging by her sides, and she had her hands in this mudra while she was walking. And I looked over and I said, "Oh snap, I know that one." And she was like, "Yeah, I gotta keep the mudras going." You know? She was just walking, you know, power walking with the mudras. I was like, "Dang, she knows energy." You know, that lady.
Do you play?
We talked about that too. The push hands.
Yeah.
The push hands.
Yeah.
You know, the back and forth of the Tai Chi.
There we go.
Push hands. Feeling someone's energy, feeling someone's, you know, yielding and redirecting, and understanding your chi, you know, between you and me and the chi.
Doing a net of Tai Chi. I love the mudras that Shayna talked about. Just open palms with your fingers spread out and just up, just open. To receive, you receive all of the energy. It's amazing. And then also with your fingertips together.
Yeah.
Your palms don't even have to touch. They can if you want, but even separate. The power of the fingertips like Ellie Tom talking about like this.
Mm-hmm.
You want to point that at Joe?
Right.
I'm pointing love.
Yeah.
It's a laser.
Mm-hmm.
Our point, it's like a laser. So combining all those fingertips together, it's just like sharpening that focus of the energy connection and charging the whole body.
Yeah.
I've been doing that since I was a little girl.
Really?
Just because I could feel it. I'll be playing like this, like, whoa, what is that? So, and now I'm 32, and I'm like, oh, that's what that is.
You even see people that probably don't even know about energy work. They use this gesture. It's like almost like a power pose. Mm-hmm. It's a steepling gesture, and it's with people who, whenever they're thinking or whenever they kind of maintain power, they might put their fingertips together. But even if they're unconscious, or even if they don't realize that these are energy connections, like he talked about the reflexology points in the hands that are like all sorts of chakras that connect to all sorts of points in the body, they're still utilizing that force and that energy that's palpable. Yeah. So that's a good one. The prayer position next to the heart chakra, and what she was talking about when you make those connections. Already when you make the connection like this, it's already doing something in the body. But when you put it near the heart, that's amplifying it that much bigger. You're like magnifying.
It's opening up your heart chakra.
Yeah. Speaking of opening up the heart chakra, she talked about compassion. Mm-hmm. That was a big subject today. How did that one touch you?
Like just the whole theory and thought of not separating, but seeing the difference between love and compassion was interesting to me, because I kind of put them together as well. But I was able to see that having compassion is something maybe like, I don't know, like, how do you explain, like, giving love, but to me, it's more like being compassionate. That's what we're doing. Like, maybe being compassionate helps you embody more love.
It was interesting because she was talking about being a Reiki practitioner. She'll have sessions with people, and when she asks them to tap into love, there's a different vibration. But when she asks them to tap into compassion, they open up.
That's what, because you can give yourself self-love and whatnot, but when you have compassion for others, that's when it expands even more. I think that's what she was saying.
It also depends on your definition. Like, how do you define love? And each person might have a different definition of what love means to them. So when you ask a person to think of love or to vibrate in a love frequency, their mind might go to something different than somebody else who might have an unconditional love. Somebody else might think of love in a romanticized sense, whereas somebody else is not thinking
like conditional.
Conditional.
We all have our own different perceptions of what love is, but compassion is compassion. And it's one thing to show that to yourself, but when you can be so open to show that to other beings. Yeah. That was a big one too. Ellie Tom talked about how showing it to other beings that aren't even on the same path that you're on, and understanding that you can have compassion for any and everybody, no matter where they are in their journey, because we're all on our own journeys. We're all in our unique paths, doing our own thing, and it's good to not have judgment or not place judgment on other people just because they're doing different things. Having compassion or showing mercy, something we talked about too, showing mercy, having compassion, even if you're not that person, you don't understand why they did something, you can still show them that compassion. Have you ever had somebody who you felt like was not compassionate to your journey or your way of thinking? Can you think of somebody like that? Or just a situation where you had to deal with and you had to have compassion for somebody who wasn't as compassionate for you? There's been times where I've come up against, I guess, opposing views where people will look at my lifestyle and they'll be like, what are you doing? You're harming yourself. You're hurting yourself. Don't you know your body is eating itself? Don't you know anything about nutrition? What about minerals? What about vitamins? Where are you getting all this stuff? And it can be very, I guess, what you might call invalidating if you're in a place where you're not strong enough in that frequency to be able to combat that negative energy. So if somebody's projecting on you and you're taking what they're projecting, either you're reflecting what they're projecting
you know, and it comes back that you both butt heads because you don't see eye to eye, or you accept their way of thinking, you accept that they are where they are, and it's just there, you know?
I've done both.
Yeah. So
I've done come back and butted heads, or I've also been like, you know what? It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah. Like when I first decided to move into my van full time.
Mm-hmm.
So many people were like, yeah, that's so exciting. But then when I actually like did it, they had this change of like attitude towards me. Like, well, are you enjoying it? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, really? I'm like, mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, it's like.
What do you feel like they were searching for? Do you feel like they were waiting for you to fall back?
I think it's maybe their own fear. Like it's bringing that to light. Like, you know, they're like, well, where are you gonna sleep? Is it gonna be safe? Or how are you gonna pay this? And what are you gonna do about this? And what are you gonna do about that? I'm like, I'm not worried about any of that.
Right. So someone else who hasn't necessarily ventured into the zone of the unknown, mm-hmm. if they have a fear surrounding that unknown zone, mm-hmm. but they see that you've gone into that zone of unknown,
exactly.
They might project their fears onto you, thinking that, you know, there's something wrong with you for doing something that they haven't done, mm-hmm. you know, or living in a way that they couldn't imagine they could ever live like. Yeah.
But that's the thing, is they have it in their mind that for some reason they can't. Mm-hmm. But you can.
Mm-hmm. So this is the things that we've been doing, like when you're releasing the conceptions or perceptions that we have with our programming over the years through tons and tons of programming and installing different things and downloading different things into our energy matrix, into the makeup of our mind, you know, it takes time. It takes time to disentangle and destabilize all these different things that have been made by design, you know, so that takes a lot of time to deconstruct that. Yeah.
You know, a couple years ago I was in a little ballet, and I'd never done ballet in my entire life. And my instructor, the coordinator, she bought me some ballet shoes, point shoes, and I immediately went on point and started spinning. Mm-hmm. It's the first time I put them on. And she was like, what? You're not supposed to be able to do that. Like, get down, you're going to hurt yourself. And I was like, no, it's fine. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
And then she's like, how are you doing that? I said, there's nothing I can't do.
Ooh.
There's nothing I can't do.
Ooh,
if I want to do it, I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I always say I have a slight upper hand because of my mom.
Mm.
It's so important in our programming. She taught me since I was so small, like for my whole life, she would say, remove that word can't from your vocabulary. Remove it. Because you can do anything you want to do. So that's carried with me until the now, you know? So when you have that programming, nothing can stop you. You don't have to go to ballet for so many years of your life to be able to do that. If you want to do it, do it.
That's like an override.
Override.
Yeah, you're overriding the can't program. You know, you're uninstalling that program, taking it out of the drive, taking it out of the files, putting it in the trash.
I can.
Yeah.
I can replace it with I can.
Yes. Yeah.
For some reason I couldn't do this. For some reason I can't do that. Stop saying that. Stop saying that and watch. You're gonna do it.
Yeah. Watch yourself amaze yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
It's so simple. Just change what you're saying. Change what you're thinking. And then you'll stop saying it. Right? Our words are just loud thoughts.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
So you think it and then you say it and it's projected out. That's creating your reality. Thoughts and words create your reality.
I have a question for you. So which do you feel is more powerful when it comes to the things that we manifest consciously or unconsciously? Do you think our thoughts or our words are more powerful?
I don't know. I don't know which one would be more powerful than the other.
I feel like the spoken word
yeah.
is definitely powerful because when you speak things over you, everything in your body is listening, you know, and it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like you are putting yourself into a box. Like if you can imagine a cage or a box of your own making, it's a thing to be a prison in your own mind. I say this because, I mean,
That's why I didn't know which one was greater, because the thoughts can be so powerful.
Right.
But I see, like, projecting it out, it kind of, like, instills that even more. Yeah.
And even if you do have the thoughts of the negative, you can speak the positive.
Yes.
And you can speak the positive, and it can override
your thoughts.
the negative. That's why I was asking.
Yeah.
So if you've ever thought of a situation where, I remember, you know, there were times when I might have gotten sick or I might have felt ill, and I would just tell myself over and over, I am strong, I am healthy.
Power of affirmations.
Yeah. It's truly key. You know?
If you can't control your thoughts quite yet, start speaking positive affirmations. Before you know it, you'll start thinking like that.
Yeah. And it sounds silly at first. Like, you might think that, oh no, I'm lying to myself, you know, this doesn't sound real, it sounds fake, you know, like they say, fake it till you make it, but you can be it till you see it, you know? Keep repeating it over and over and over again. That repetition becomes the mother of skill. Consistency becomes the DNA of mastery. And anything that we do frequently becomes
our frequency.
Come on now. So that's what we were talking about today, and that was just one of the topics. What was another topic that we were touching on? There were so many.
Let's see. Energy from the muscle. When we acquire energy and it's stored in our muscle, it can, like, be exerted or leave our body. But something that I wrote down, that he said that whenever it's stored in the bone, it's forever.
Ooh, yeah.
So I found that really interesting. I want to explore more of that, like energy that's stored in our bones. When you store it in the bones, your bones become stronger. Meditation increases your bone strength.
And that bone density.
There you go.
And every day that we've been here so far, which is, I mean, only 2 days. We're on day 2. Come on now. And we've been doing Qigong every day. And while we're doing Qigong, he's letting us know that it's like you're lifting energetic weights. You know, it's like you're doing spiritual push-ups. These muscles, they get stronger with use. Just like the mental muscles. When you say those affirmations, you're exercising those mental muscles. You're flexing them. They get stronger and stronger with more exercise. It's like, I feel like gratitude is kind of like a muscle. You keep lifting those weights. Over time, you can lift bigger and bigger weights. And then you just find reasons to be grateful. You see them all around you because you've been in the gym, the gratitude gym.
And then you're just grateful for literally everything.
Yeah.
Literally everything. Even the not so good things I'm grateful for, because I know it's all for my highest good, getting me to where I need to be next.
You could be the most negative person, and you get around Shayna Dean, Ellie Tom, like, and you say all the stuff that you feel like is wrong with the world, they might look at you like, what are you talking about? The world is amazing. Like, so many things are happening. There was even an agreement, it was like a consensus that people were saying, for every one bad thing, there's almost like 10 good things that we don't even hear about that are going on behind the scenes, you know, below the radar.
And they balance each other. There's no, like, good and bad. It's all in one. And he said, you know, one of the guys said, when I'm seeing more darkness in the world, that the light must be rising.
That was Andrew.
Yes.
Yeah. He was talking about that darkness that you do see is confirmation of the light that you don't see. That should be telling you something.
So what do you focus on? It's all there. What are you putting your focus on? What are you incorporating and letting into your environment and your reality? That's going to be your perception of the world as well.
Right.
You know, somebody that only watches the news, they're going to only think negative things are happening. Throw out that TV. Start doing some of these practices. Start thinking for yourself. Start connecting with positive people, positivity in general. You're going to see the world in a more positive light.
Yeah. Energy grows where our focus goes. And what we focus on the longest grows the strongest. I remember I have an uncle, he's still alive today, bless his heart. He's in his 80s. And his face was like contorted into a perpetual frown. And he just sat on the couch and watched the news every single day. And his face is in like a permanent frown. It's like painful for him to smile because he hasn't exercised those muscles. The muscles that it takes to smile is like not exercised. So he's just consuming the feed over and over again. Even on social media. Right here on social media, when we talk about the things that we're viewing, the things that we pay attention to, we give our energy to.
We're feeding that.
We're feeding that.
Stop paying attention to it. Like, be aware, but don't feed your energy to it.
Yeah, consume the things that give you life. You know, consume the things that bring you joy. Consume the things that enliven you. You were about to, yeah, you see, we were saying, you know what I'm saying? Consume the things that empower you. Consume the things that enliven you. Consume the things that excite you, that enthuse you, that enlighten you. You know,
make you feel good.
Exactly. And they don't call it the feed for no reason. You know, social media, what we're scrolling. My friend Victoria told me that what we're scrolling, they call it the feed. You know, so that's what you're eating. You're feeding every single day.
Go through your followers list and kind of cleanse. Give it a good cleanse.
I had to do that.
I do it over and over again.
Yeah. And I do that. I keep my follower list the way that it is, not because, oh, I don't want to follow these people or I don't want to be bougie. I understand that my attention is valuable. My energy is valuable. And if I have all these things popping up in the news, in what's going on here, what's going on there, what's going on there, it's taken away from my focus to what I could be doing.
Taking away and feeding whatever that is.
Right. So it's like being conscious of your own energy and understanding that you know, consume the things that are building you, that are brightening you up, that are lightening you up, that light a fire within you, that get you inspired to do something great. You know? Yeah.
We all have that fire within us that's implanted in our hearts at birth, I believe, or in the womb.
Yeah.
And so life can kind of dim that fire, but it just takes someone to kind of bring it back alive, start fanning your flame, you know, surround yourself with things that fan that flame, that don't try to put it out.
Yeah.
Put those things
Yeah, and it's cyclical too, because you get into a cycle of not even realizing, if you're going to use this technology anyway, understanding that responsibility is the response to the ability. We have the power in our hands, literally in our hands, to be able to do so many amazing things, to be able to touch lives at the touch of a button, to be able to receive and give information at the touch of a button, at the click, you know? So with that power comes great responsibility.
What are you going to do with it?
What are you going to do with all that power, you know? So realizing that there's an algorithm, just like we have an algorithm, just kind of like we're bio machines, we're biocomputers, like the mind, and like you say, when you respond to the things that come at you in your response, you know, action response, the computer, the algorithm, social media, and everything that we watch, it's responding to you. It's responding to your habits. It's responding to your attention. It's responding
to
what
you're liking.
Yeah. Everything that you like, every time
you like this? Let's send her some more of that.
Right. Oh, you watch this random video about such and such? Well, you must be interested in that, so we're going to suggest this. Oh, you like that person who talked about that thing? Well, let's send you more of this. And just one thing could put it out of whack.
And that goes for life, too. Not even just Instagram or social media in our feed, but just in life in general. They say when you agree to something, you're saying, I agree to this, I want more of this in my life. If you say, no, I'm good with that, it probably won't come. It might not come to you.
Right.
Again, because you said, no, I don't want that.
It's like making a contract. You know what I'm saying? Janet called it the Frido Effect.
This is Ellie Tom's story.
Because you have an energetic biofield that's coming off of your body, just like your thoughts are coming off of your body, just like this energy, your aura is coming off of your body. Not only is it radiating, it's emanating, but it's also pulling in, it's attracting, it's drawing things into your field. So when you have these thoughts that are still connected to you, these cords, these bonds that we haven't unattached to ourselves.
That could be from years ago even. That people you know from years ago that you might not even talk to in this now, they're still thinking of you. That's why it's important to kind of cut those ties and cords with somebody who's not in your now moment. So you can make space for the ones who are a match now.
What did that girl say about cutting ties in that song? She said, I just cut ties. What did she say? I forget what she said. I ain't scared to cut ties.
Yeah.
So there's a song we listen to. Janice
I don't
been
mess
listening.
with bad vibes. I ain't
Scared
scared
to
to cut
ties.
ties.
I don't mess with bad vibes. I ain't scared to cut
ties. It says, if you got bad vibes, you gotta go.
Hey. So Janet be listening to, what is it, Tony Jones?
Tony Jones.
Tony Jones and Geminel, and it's these artists that be putting out music with affirmations on it. So they lace the music with affirmations to influence the mind, to influence your energy, to influence your life. Yeah. And while you bumping it, you know.
And they have these, like bumping beats that just keep you like you want to be. It's catchy. It stays in my head all day. You know, like.
But it's positive affirmation.
Yeah. I recommend that for anybody who's maybe having a little difficulty, like reprogramming the mind, or maybe you don't have you're not making time for it, or for whatever reason. But like if you enjoy music, just put on these songs because you're gonna enjoy the music while it's reprogramming you. You're gonna speak it out, like we said, the words kind of make it even more powerful.
Right.
So when you sing that, when I say like I get paid to be me, that's one of them. You know, everything I need is already inside.
Or the I will win. I will win. It is
I will win. I will win. My success is inevitable.
So if you say these things over and over and over again, it becomes your reality because that's your perception. That's what you're putting your attention into. That's what you're putting your energy into. And energy flows where your attention goes. So it all comes full circle. You know, that's what you start to see in your outer reality, what is changed on the inner reality. When we talk about the Frido Effect, which you came up with today, she coined the Frido Effect off of Ellie Tom's story, where he was battling the avocados and the Fritos. The avocados and the Fritos had him down for so long, he said he didn't know how he would ever get rid of the avocados. He had a love affair with the avocados and the Fritos. And one day when he wasn't even thinking about them, or he thought that he had given up Fritos, what happened?
He was driving, and then he looked over, and it was a huge Frito truck. So he said, oh, no.
Big old Frito truck on the side of the street with his, you know.
And then Danielle, how she said she was like, her thing was popcorn.
Yeah.
And then she's trying to, you know, she goes somewhere, and they're giving out free popcorn.
Free popcorn.
All kinds, free popcorn.
Yeah. And seeing unopened bags of Fritos, unopened bags of things, you know.
That happened to me, literally.
How did that happen to you then?
I don't know. I was just like, I mean, you're at the park, and somebody had a party, obviously, but they left a whole box of cookies and like bags of chips, and I was like, oh, this is testing me right now.
What did you think was testing you?
To see if I would agree to that.
But what do you think was testing you?
My higher self.
Okay.
My higher self.
Because some people would say, okay, it's the universe, or it's my guides, but you're saying it's your higher self.
The universe is us. Whoever left that is me in a different form. We're all one. It's myself, my higher self.
So why do you think they left them cookies for you?
When you give a mouse a cookie,
it's gonna want some milk. You know what I'm saying?
I believe it's a test because I'm literally like becoming like more involved in food freedom and not consuming solid foods. And so it's like, here's one of your faves, some cookies.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Here you go.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
It's like that crossroads. Which way you gonna go?
You ever feel like your higher self is watching you?
All the time.
What you gonna do?
All the time.
You gonna pick up them cookies?
All the time.
You gonna grab them
That's
cookies?
what I heard. Testing me.
You know it's your favorite. You know it's your favorite. You know it's your flavor. You gonna pick up them cookies? What you gonna do?
And every time you say, you know what? No, I'm gonna keep going. It just makes it even easier, and it gives you more power because you didn't give your power to that temptation. You kept what's true to you and your mission and your intention and why you're doing this.
So on one hand of the coin, or one side, you're breaking off the energetic cords, the energy ties, the soul ties, or even the contract that you made with the agreement with whatever that substance is. On another side, when they talk about the mind and the brain specifically, the neurons that fire together wire together. And so when you do something repeatedly, it wires together and it becomes more solidified or more crystallized. But the more you resist doing it, the more that you deviate from that pattern, that neural network becomes uncoupled, it becomes untethered, it starts to dissolve and fade away. And then new neural networks are born. You know, new neural pathways and grooves are made in the mind when you do something else.
That's perfect how you said that. You know, it's like our patterning in the mind, literally in a scientific way with the brain neurons. It's like you go this way and it goes boom, 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 that way because you made that choice. If you made the other choice, boom, 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 boom,
right,
this way.
Right. Yeah.
And that's the power we have.
Yeah. Great analogy. You know, there was a movie that we watched. It was called Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. And they had a diagram that illustrated just that. You know, they had a diagram that showed just one choice would split off into an entire new universe. One choice. You choosing to turn left instead of turning right.
It's going to align you with a different timeline. You know, it's like a tree with branches. You have many ways you can go. Which way are you going to choose? And depending which way you go is different outcomes. Like your whole experience will be different depending on every single choice you make, big or small. Every single choice.
Yeah. In the movie, the main character played by Michelle Yeoh, her name was Evelyn. And Evelyn had so many lives in this movie. I mean, in one lifetime or one timeline, she was a chef. In another one, she was a school teacher. In another one, she was a martial artist. In another one, she was, you know, famous singer. In another one, she was spinning a sign on the side of a street.
She had married her husband or she hadn't married him.
Right.
Where that would have led her.
Right.
But I think the biggest message with that is we have to, in the end, she just said, there's nowhere else I'd rather be. You could have done this or you could have done that, but I want to be here now.
She embraced the present moment. She embraced the gift. Today is the gift. That's why they call it the present. Oh, man.
It's good, ain't it?
It's good, ain't it? It's good. Ellie-Tom will always be saying that. He'd be like, "This is good, ain't it?" You know, there's a few things that he sprinkles in throughout there, like this is a health message, reminding people that, you know, it's not like, oh, these are, you know, superior beings or this is that or this is this, but saying that at the end of the day, it's a health message.
It's a health message.
Taking care of your health first and foremost. I remember Tuğçe, shout out to Tuğçe from Turkey. Elijah was just talking about Tuğçe, the plasma goddess. And so Tuğçe was talking to me about this quote that she heard from one of her family members. And it said, think of your health as a number 1. And you have number 1 right here. And then think of everything else in your life after health is a 0. So, okay, family, 0. Your car, 0. Your money is a 0. Your house is a 0. Your, you know, everything else is 0, but number 1 is health. And you can put everything else after that 1. But if you don't have that 1, nothing else matters. Nothing else matters, you know. You can have millions and millions, but if you don't even have the health to enjoy it, what was it all for?
You could be in the most beautiful place on earth, but if you don't have your health, or it affects your mood and your emotional state, you know, like you said, you might not even be enjoying it. But if you put your health first, you'll be enjoying every single moment. Everything. Because you feel good. It's all about how you feel.
A lot of times that I got caught in this mindset as well, when I was just working, putting all this effort, living in that rat race mentality, thinking that I'm going to retire at a certain age, trying to amass this wealth or amass some fortune in my life, not really knowing that if I sacrifice my health to get the wealth, I'm going to eventually sacrifice my wealth to try and fight back for my health. You know, it's going to all go back to the doctors. It's going to go all back to the physician. It's all going to go back to the healing, you know, to try and get my life back in order. So don't sacrifice your health for anything, you know. Leave that first and foremost. Yeah. And health is wealth.
Exactly.
They're one and the same.
The healthier I feel, the more wealthy I feel. You know, the more abundance comes to you because you are abundance. That's one affirmation I say. I attract abundance because I am abundance.
I remember Ralph Smart. Somebody was telling Ralph Smart, like, why is healthy food so expensive? Or something like that. And he said, do you know the price of a heart attack? So it's like, yo, pick your, you know.
In the long run, like being healthy is it's cheaper.
It's priceless.
It is.
You know, you can't put a price on your health. I mean, can you? You know, think about it. How much are you worth? Ask yourself that. How much am I worth? You know? 1 million, 2 million, or am I priceless? Am I priceless? If you really, truly believe that you are priceless, how would you act accordingly? What would you change in your life? What would that change in your mind? I'm priceless. I'm limitless. You know? There's no price tag on me. You can't put it on me.
And nobody can take it from you.
Right. Right. That's a beautiful thing that you said. Let's go into this because what no one can take from you. What we're talking about at this retreat is basically free energy that is abundant. Go ahead.
He said 1 hour of sunlight is enough to power the entire world, right?
To fuel all the industries in the world, to power all the industries.
For a whole day.
For a whole year.
For a whole year.
1 hour. 1 hour of sunlight.
1 hour of sunlight has the power to fuel every industry on this planet for 1 year. Why are we getting our energy from any other source then?
And think about it, like these cosmic forces that we talk about, they're raining on us both day and night. It doesn't matter. You know, you go outside, it might be a cloudy day, but if there's light outside, the sun's outside. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that say, oh, it's not sunny where I am. I don't get a lot of sun. I wish we got more sun here. But the sun is still out. It's still radiating, you know?
Like Shayna said, you can be in the shade and still be receiving that sun. You don't have to sit directly in it or stare right at it.
Right.
Ellie Tom said, I don't be practicing sun gazing. He said, the sun's already looking at me. Why I gotta look at it?
So that's another great point that you made. Thank you for that, Janet. Because, you know, sun gazing can help somebody. It can definitely be a path that could lead somebody to that light. While somebody else could use an entirely different method and get the same outcome, get the same results. For somebody, they could use meditation. For somebody, they could use sun gazing. For somebody, they could use qigong. For somebody, they could use yoga. For somebody, they could use Reiki. For somebody else, they could use breath work. There's so many modalities, and there's never been more today.
Yeah. You know, I've been practicing sun gazing because the power of it, you know, receiving it through your direct eye, you know, but then I see his point and I'm like, yeah, I gotta really do that.
Right.
It's always looking at me.
It's looking at you.
So you can also practice one way and then hear another perspective and kind of think, well, maybe I don't have to do that as much.
Right, right.
You know?
Pick and choose what works for you. Do what you like. Do what you enjoy, because that's what you're going to do most often. If you don't enjoy something, you're not going to do it very much. You're not going to want to do it. It's going to be forcing. And it's not a forcing journey.
Exactly.
It's a fun journey.
I enjoy it. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
So all flow and no force, they say. All waters flow to the ocean. And why is the sea the king of streams? Because it lies below them. You know? So all waters flow to the ocean. There's many different paths up this mountain. And you can get to the peak at a different angle. You don't have to walk up the same path that somebody already paved just to get to where they got. You can literally go up a completely different side. You
can take their perspective and kind of they guide you and they're leading the way. Or you can go your own way.
Right.
And forge a new path for others to follow you.
Exactly. Exactly. We had an awesome conversation with Ariel in the car today. Ariel was talking about, she's been going on TikTok and she's been putting her voice out there, and she's basically forging that path. She's using the power of her voice, the Vishuddhi, the throat chakra. She's opening it up, and she's saying she's receiving a lot of feedback from other people.
The more authentic she is with her videos, the more feedback she receives.
So don't be afraid to forge your path. Don't be afraid to pave your way. Don't be afraid to play.
Don't be afraid to be authentic with you.
Yeah.
You don't have to have this grand plan, this whole background behind you, and this whole music, and this whole setup. The more authentic you are, that's gonna come through.
Yeah. So what was another thing that you enjoyed?
Something he talked about? Denmark?
Denmark was like the energy on the body. That's a martial art where they know pressure points on the body. And he talked about different things on the body that come out online at different times.
Yeah, how the energy in different organs at different times of the day. We talked about the locks of the tongue. And how that is connected to the spinal cord. So it's helping, like, how would you say? Helping that flow through the spinal cord by perching the tongue at the roof of the mouth.
I even wrote that down. He said the spinal cord is the battery of the body. You know, like your central nervous system. The spinal cord, the battery of the body. There are even some cultures that will say you're only as old as your spine. Think about that for a second.
Spinal health, so important. Like the roots of the spine, right? Like he said, if there's like no root, the whole plant ain't gonna work.
Yeah, you can take off the limbs of a tree, you can take off the leaves of the branches, but it'll still grow back. You take that root, it's gone.
Yeah.
You know?
So also like the root gets it flowing up the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, the third eye, out the crown. You know, it's sending that energy to your brain. And then also your higher chakras and lower, and it's just...
And I didn't even know about any of the higher chakras till we met Shayna. Like, y'all introducing me to all these other chakras. Like, I didn't know about this. Seriously.
So we do have chakras, 7 main chakras in the body, and I think Ellie Tom said 12 or 13.
Shayna, when
from
she...
the front and the back as well, the front of the body.
Oh, because he
if
does
you have
the
a heart
microphone.
chakra in the front, there's also like that opening in the back. So, and then you have chakras above your head, not in your physical body, but it's in your aura, in your etheric field, in your auric body. So yeah, chakras above the body and below the body. So when you tap into that, you breathe into it like we were doing, sending that energy to that center, getting it flowing. I love how she gets it flowing. Kind of, we did, I think, the third, or the throat, or the heart rate.
We went up to the third eye,
the crown,
we went higher.
the 8th chakra, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and then we went down to the root and got that coming, spinning the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, and we merged it both right here in the heart.
So when we talk about the root, understanding the root is like the foundation. You know, when people talk about getting to the root cause of things, what's the root cause? How did this happen? You know, what's the source? What's the root? So when you change the root, you change the fruit. Yeah, that's the foundation. It's holding up everything. Without the foundation, the house cannot stand. One of the cool things is when you see a house, even when you see a house being built, or when you see a house that is finished, you go up in the house and you see like, oh my gosh, look at all this. Look at the walls, look at the upholstery, look at all this. Oh my, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful home. But what people never look at, what do people never look at in the house? They never look at the foundation. Because you can't see the foundation. The foundation is underneath. It's what's holding up the house.
Or if you've done your research, you might look at that and know right away if you want that house or not. If it has not so good foundation, it's like, no, I don't want to spend my more time and energy and finances into something that doesn't even have a good foundation.
So just like people would spend time working on the foundation of a house, do we spend time working on the foundation of our bodies, of ourselves, of our hearts?
Of our lives.
Yeah. So how do you give yourself a more sturdy foundation? You know, while we were doing Qigong, we're standing in these positions, and sometimes it can get a little shaky. You know, it can get a little shaky because you're like building a new foundation. You're breaking up energy blockages in the body, creating new grooves and energy pathways, opening up new channels and meridians, doing all kinds of stuff.
And I think that shakiness is kind of like the energy wanting to move.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's moving. And then you do it enough and you get to the point where you're still.
Mm-hmm.
That's that foundational stance.
Yeah, yeah. And what did he say? When you get to the point where you're still, when you can hold a position and be still, what do you do then? That's when you can move on to the next position.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like a video game. In life, it's like a video game. We're all in these avatars, right? We're playing our characters, you know. You select your character, you customize it how you want it, you select your avatar, and now you have these skills and abilities and these different attributes and these different things that you acquire on your journey. And you can level up. You don't have to just stay there. Like Bruce Lee said, you know, it's a journey of plateaus, but you don't just have to stay there. You can go beyond them. You know, there are no limits. There are only plateaus. You must not stay there. But it's your choice, whether you want to stay where you are or where you want to go beyond to wherever that is. And so that's what we've been playing, like, you know.
And know that there are infinite levels.
Mm-hmm.
Infinite.
Infinite.
You can keep going and keep going. That's what makes it so exciting.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to stop.
Yeah. It's not like you get to a certain point and like, oh, that's it. I'm like, no. Even in the next life, the next, you know, it's like, I feel like, yeah, you can just keep going. It's infinite.
So what's one of the things that excites you about the next evolution in your life? What you see for yourself?
Oh man, the things I have experienced and am able to do blow my mind all the time. So things I'm able to experience now and do now, I couldn't have even imagined that I'd be able to do that in this now moment at this age. It just, I amaze myself because it's like you push past those limits and the things we're told and you actually experience that and you can do that and it's like, wow, what else can I do? So that's where I'm at, just like, what else can I do? How can I also grow and expand the skills that I have acquired now? Just growing and expanding, learning more, and what else? What else can I do?
What's an example of one of those skills?
Oh man, there's so many.
Just give a couple.
Like using more of my multidimensionality. I've always been able to see things that others didn't see, or feel things others didn't feel, hear things others didn't hear, and I feel like that's our multidimensional abilities, where it's beyond the 3D or third dimension. In that box that we're put in, where it's where we can only see and perceive this amount of this, and you know, like, but the more I expand myself and the more I heal myself mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, in all the ways, I'm seeing things I didn't see before. Even like I was born seeing like ghosts, spirits, demons, all types of things in a like a lower vibration. The more I raise my vibration, I'm like, and expand my vision, I can see higher dimensional things like little dragons and like small people, like fairy people, and things that exist in other dimensions other than the 3D. We can actually start interacting with those things. For instance, when I started raising my vibration, meditating, focus on chakra healing, raising vibration, it's like Pleiadians went, whoop, Pleiades, and I was like, what is that? So I had to Google it. I didn't even know what that was or who they were. And so it's like the more we elevate and raise vibration, we can experience things that exist in higher dimensions. Like now we're a match to that. Now they can then communicate. And the more I've done this, just more higher versions of myself, other beings are really myself, just in a different form. They are communicating with me, more and more of them. So that's when you just like, it's called like embodying like all of yourselves, like all into this avatar in the now moment. So not only was I connecting with the lower versions of myself, what I was seeing as a child, but as I grew, connecting with higher versions of myself and just merging that all into this now avatar. It's like, it's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Our friend Sunrise, you know, he talks about these things and he calls them our supernatural abilities. We think that these things are supernatural, like they're beyond us, but they're
super
natural. You know, these are things that we've always had. Maybe not, we're not even acquiring them, but we're remembering them. You know, we're understanding that we've always had them. We've just kind of gotten away from them for some reason. You know, so one of the things I heard you saying was talking about seeing things, hearing things, feeling things, and knowing things. You know, you're talking about the clairs, the clairvoyance, the clairaudience.
It just gets stronger.
The clairsentience.
Yeah.
The claircognizance. Yeah.
Don't think that you don't. And that's one big thing is, like, when we're in childhood, children are their third eye is open. We see things, we feel things, we hear things, and we're kind of told, no, that's not there. Or, no, you're not. You know, you're not feeling that. Or, you know what my mom always said, if you think you're psychic, you are. If you think you have gifts, you do. And don't let it scare you either. She had gifts and it scared her. She had premonitional dreams that would happen, and it wasn't always the best thing. She could read palms and whatnot, and it kind of scared her, so she asked God to take it away. So she told me, don't be afraid of it. It's a gift. So then I didn't have that block like a lot, maybe some of us do, like what we're told when we're children. You know, I didn't have that block. I believed if I felt this way, it was real. You know, and that's why I am at the level that I'm at, because since I was a child, I've known this is real. I didn't like doubt it or deny it either, and I kept that in mind not to let it instill fear in me.
That's a big one. You know, I've never told this online, but even my dad, I recall him telling me stories of him seeing things when he was younger and experiencing things that were, you know, somebody might call metaphysical or supernatural or even paranormal. And when he was shut down by the grown folks, by the elders in, you know, his family, in the community, when people told him, no, you didn't see what you thought you saw, no, you didn't feel what you thought you felt, no, that didn't actually happen, it kind of shut down that part of his senses. And, you know, to this day he doesn't experience those things anymore, but he still remembers seeing and experiencing those things when he was young, when he was a child.
Like, yeah, our beliefs and our knowing creates also our reality. What you believe in will be true for you. So talking with my mom over these years, now that I'm an adult, experiencing all these things firsthand, she's like, you know, I wonder if I could ask for it back. And I said, well, you got to release that fear and ask for it back. And she did. And she, you know, we were on the phone, and she'd be like, are you with somebody? I'm like, no, I'm by myself. She's like, I'm hearing somebody talking. She always hears somebody talking when we're talking on the phone. Like, her abilities are kind of coming online again because she said, okay, I'm not afraid. Please allow me to receive that again.
She's opening up.
She's opening back up to it. Okay. And knowing and believing that this is real. This is real. And it's a gift.
Wow.
It's a gift you can use to help yourself in life and to also help others.
So when you see these things as a gift instead of a curse, it changes. It changes, you know. That's like a paradigm shift in itself. In the
movie we saw, she was very sensitive, and she would see also spirits that had passed on. And she said, I just want to be like everybody else. And what did he say?
Which one?
The one we saw, the scary one,
the power.
The power.
Oh, okay. Well, the power, she was in the basement. You're saying the dark?
Oh, no. I'm sorry, it's one we saw last night.
Last night in Soho.
Last night in Soho.
Yeah. She had the power. She was able to see her mom. She was able to see other eras, almost like peer into the multiverse. You know, she was able to see things that had already happened.
And what was it doing? Like, she wasn't asking, like, I want to be like everybody else when she was just seeing her mom. It was only until she moved to London experiencing fear. These things that she was seeing, these other spirits started scaring her. That's when she said, I wish I was like everybody else. She didn't want to feel that fear.
She couldn't turn it off. She kept seeing it. Yeah. because it was like a door had been opened to that other world, and she couldn't turn it off. She couldn't close it, no matter what she did. So it's just interesting, our perception surrounding the things that we could consider gifts, or we could consider them, you know, something else, and it changes the way that you view it, and it changes the way that you interact with it, you know.
And your experience with it.
Right. Your experience in the realm of your reality, and the scope of your perception, you know. And you also talked about frequency match. You mentioned that just now about being a frequency match to certain things. Shayna touched on this today, where she said she received a Reiki attunement, and she was no longer a frequency match for, what was it, meat, or was it animal flesh?
For meat, yeah, eating animals.
She was no longer a frequency match, she said. And so she could no longer even consume certain things when she got a Reiki attunement. So her energy, or her body, had been upgraded to a point where she was no longer a match. Ellie Tom even talked about that with the avocados, that over time, through detox, through fasting, through meditation, through bringing more light into his body, he eventually tasted avocados, which was his favorite. Like that was his staple, his trademark, something he ate, you know, something he thought he would never be without. And he tasted the avocado, and it didn't taste right. So he went down the street and got another avocado in the other grocery store, and it didn't taste right.
He said, this city might have a whole bad batch.
So what did he do?
He drove to the next city.
He drove out of the city. Went got himself another avocado out the city, saying, hold on now. This don't taste right. So he realized at that moment, it wasn't the avocados.
He was no longer a frequency match to that source of nourishment any longer. Because everything is frequency and vibration and energy. It's all vibrating. So depending on your vibration, if you're vibrating up here, but it's kind of down here, it's not going to be a match.
And there was one thing I wrote down today. When you cater to your cravings, you are confirming it should stay. This is one thing that he said about when you cater to things. That is like your confirmation to the universe that I still want this in my life. Because you've continued to open that door.
Agreement.
It's an agreement. You know, you're making an agreement with that thing. And I've dealt with this time and time again. You know, it's like, if I don't open the door to sushi, I don't have to close it. If I don't open the door to, you know, what else, you know, like whatever else, then I don't have to close that door. And there's been so many times where, you know, either through boredom or through what I thought was like a hunger pang or a craving, or what I thought was a lack in my mind, which was really just me in that low frequency vibration of scarcity, thinking that, oh, I need this. And what we've heard, you know, what we understand is that luxuries, once tasted, become necessities. Once you taste something that's actually a luxury, you keep tasting it, it becomes a necessity. When you think about things that we eat today, we have so much variety that he was talking about. We're so spoiled today.
I'm going to have something creamy.
Yeah. What do I want? Something crunchy, something creamy, something spicy, something saucy, something savory, something tangy, something sweet, something sour. We have all these different assortments. You know, we have a whole smorgasbord of options today. And we live in abundance. But there's something that comes with that. You know, we have the power to pick and choose. We can pick and choose. But when you pick and choose from all these different things, you get used to complexity and you get out of simplicity. You're not used to simplicity. You're used to complexity. Look at the ingredients. Look at the back of anything that you buy. All those ingredients, that's a lot of complexity. I learned this from my friend Level Mind. Shout out to Victoria. She said we're used to complexity. We're not used to simplicity. So going back to simplicity, being able to eliminate, being able to remove, being able to let go, being able to release, being able to relinquish, being able to step back, you know, and say, you know, reevaluate. Say, what do I really need? What do I really want?
What's in alignment with your soul as well. So, speaking personally, I had like severe anxiety and depression for the longest. And so I changed what I was consuming because I felt like what I was consuming had a big part, a big play in how I was feeling. Because I am naturally like super high vibe, right? We all are from birth. But like some of us just have this vibe, right? And if I'm eating this low vibrational food, it's not making me feel good. It's making me depressed and anxious and all these things. And it wasn't until I changed my diet that depression and anxiety just started alleviating on its own. Because I wasn't consuming that same low vibration that wasn't a match to my soul or my true self. Wanted to be in a high vibration, but I was then putting it down every time. So everything is frequency and vibration. So on the pranic path that you will learn as well, just studying food in general, you'll know that animal products and then there's like plants vibrate higher because the animal products is actually like dead flesh. It contains a lot of low vibrational energy. Whatever the animal is feeling, it holds those emotions like fear, anxiety, all those things. You're consuming that. So, and then you'll know that fruits vibrate higher than vegetables, but you can use them for different things. Like vegetables are very grounding, you know. But if you kind of like say I was on juice for so long, and then I had a smoothie with my mom, and just this much of the smoothie took away like some of my energy, like that, because I was already like how he said that it just to digest something it takes from our energy.
It takes energy to digest.
So I was still consuming a fruit smoothie, fruit juice or fruit smoothie, but the smoothie has more to digest, so it took away from my energy, and I didn't even want to drink it. So you just listen to how you feel and be connected to your energy level as well, and notice when something is taking away from your energy or when it's giving back to you.
You become very energy conscious. When you get used to a certain rate of consumption or a certain window of consumption where you're not consuming as much as you used to, you get used to more energy. And when you get used to more energy in the body, you will become hypersensitive to the point where you're very sensitive when that energy leaves, or when that energy depletes, or when that energy decreases. And you will know very certainly, very soon, verily, verily, when that energy is drawn from you from other sources, from you consuming something, from somebody being in your presence, and they're not feeding you, they're not giving to you, they're taking.
Arguing with somebody. You know, I've heard so many people, including myself and others also in this group, say, yeah, I just don't argue with it anymore because you realize it's just taking your energy. You ain't got time for that.
And that's a big one, you know, becoming energy conscious of the people in your company, the people that you want around you, the people who are nourishing you, replenishing you, restoring you, you know, reinvigorating you, right? Refreshing you, or the people that are doing the opposite. You start to become conscious of that energy and you realize, okay, you know,
maybe I should distance myself from this person for a little while.
Right, right. And energy is contagious. Think of what they call like the one bad apple in the bunch. You know, what does one bad apple do when it's around a whole bunch of other apples?
It makes the rest of them rotten,
you know,
bad. Yeah.
So that energy,
it's better to be that apple by himself than to be next to a rotten apple.
I just got that visual. Yeah. It's better to be an apple all alone than to be next to a rotten apple. Wow. Wow.
It's better to have no friends than a bad friend, right? Because you're going to meet better friends anyway.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I always love this quote. The only reason you should look down on someone is if you are lifting them up. A lot of people, we've had it. I mean, we've shared experiences where people have looked down on us. People have, you know, really beaten down
criticism, judgment. Yeah.
And when you are lifting somebody up, the really interesting thing about lifting others is that two people are lifted. When you lift someone else, you two are lifted. Both of you elevate together. So it's a gift that you can give yourself when you give the gift of kindness, it really is its own reward. You know, you're rewarding yourself. That energy is reciprocal, it's coming back. Like we were talking about, don't hate, congratulate. You know, don't hate, appreciate, celebrate. Whenever somebody is doing something and you see that they're have an achievement or they've done something in their lives that they've made an accomplishment, celebrate that accomplishment. Enjoy that success with that person. Because you know what that energy does? When you celebrate someone else's success, it comes right back to you.
And vice versa.
Vice versa. So, but vice versa, if you're trying to down somebody, if you're trying to be jealous of somebody,
that negativity gonna bounce back.
It's gonna bounce back and hit you.
There's a song, what does she say? She says, oh man, I can't think of it.
What's up?
Everything you do to me comes back to you ×3.
And if you think about it, when you're pointing your finger at somebody else, 3 fingers are coming back. That's the ×3 right there, you know? Yeah.
Oh, what did he say about this? Like, remember he was saying spring?
Oh yeah, he was talking about the different seasons. Spring, summer.
Summer is the longest.
And then fall.
Fall's
Winter.
Down, and then winter.
Yeah. And then this one was something else.
The ether.
The ether, yeah. You know, it's interesting. We got, you know, the internet. We got the internet, right? The internet. And we got the Ethernet. All around you, you know?
As above, so below. What you're putting out to the ether is eventually going to trickle down.
So it's the law of correspondence, you know? As within, so without. Everything we're doing internally is having some effect externally. So these were just a few things that we got from the retreat so far. This has only been day 2, but how does this apply to you? You know, ask yourself, what changes could you make today for a different tomorrow?
Last thing I wrote was, testimony means do it again. When you share your testimony, you're opening that door for somebody else to go ahead and do it. Yeah, I love that.
That's powerful.
I love that.
Yeah. Every test that you've had in life is a testimony for someone else. Everything you consider a mess is actually a message for someone else. And you can give that message. And no one can give that message like you can give that message, because that was your experience. And you know what's going to happen? It's going to resonate, because somebody else might have gone through something. Most likely they've gone through something similar, and they can relate to that situation. And they relate to you through your authenticity, through you just being who you are. So thank you for being you. Thank you for being love. Thank you for being light. Thank you for listening. Thank you for glistening. We appreciate you. Much love. And anything else you want to leave us with?
Just enjoy your life.
Hey, enjoy your life. Enjoy it twice. What she say? Freedom twice. And I'm always like, enjoy the journey.
Enjoy it.
Enjoy the journey. It can be fun, you know. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be hard. The truth is simple, but we rather make it hard.
How silly we are.
We can go so far. All right, we'll stay on par. Much. You were thinking of you. Oh man. So much love. Take care. And we'll see you next time, which should be very, very soon.